Hey everyone, and welcome back to Gotta Go Orlando. Buckle up because Disney has released some huge hints of what's coming to the parks over the next few years. In this video we'll be diving deep into the newest reveals for Monsters Inc. Land and the Doors coaster over in Hollywood Studios and Cars Land at Magic Kingdom, and the brand new Cars ride. We'll be breaking down everything that was revealed at the South by Southwest Keynotes 2025, speculating on what masterminds Disney will be partnering with in creating these new attractions, and most importantly painting a picture of the incredible magic that is heading our way. So trust me, you do not want to miss this video, so let's dive right in. Both new areas was first announced last year at the D23, the ultimate Disney fan event. Cars Land will be located over at the Magic Kingdom in the Rivers of America area. Unfortunately, this means that the very popular Tom Sawyer's Island and the even more popular Liberty Square riverboat will be removed to make way for this new addition. We just hope that the riverboat will be repurposed, maybe into a restaurant in a dry dock, or maybe it could be moved to the Seven Seas Lagoon and turned into a dessert boat so you can check out the fireworks from the Magic Kingdom whilst eating some epic desserts. A magic way to watch Happily Ever After and even have your wedding reception. At the moment we are waiting on the modifications Disney has made to the permits in regards to the stormwater management system for Tom Sawyer's Island and behind Big Thunder Mountain, aka Villains Land. This will be the second time that we know of Walt Disney has submitted these permits, as the first time the South Florida Water Management District requested more details. The permits are critical for ensuring proper water flow and environmental protection during the redevelopment of the area into the Cars themed land and in the future Villains Land. Then we also have Monsters Inc. Land coming to Hollywood Studios over in the Muppets Grand Avenue area of the park. A permit has been submitted, but it provides very little insight into what's being planned. The description on the permit was very vague. Provide labour material and or electrical for construction. It was also noted in the area that some blue sky paint was being added to an existing structure. We all know how Disney likes to paint buildings the same colour as the sky. Yes, we're losing both areas in both parks, and I know a lot of you guys aren't happy. It's sad to see these areas that are held in the hearts of many leave, and we really hope that with what's replacing these areas will be strong and worth the loss. Now, as for the timeline on these projects starting, I would think as soon as the permits have been granted, Disney will break ground, especially when it comes to Cars Land, as this one is a very big project, and this will be the beginning of this area receiving a massive overhaul. Big Thunder Mountain has already begun and won't open until 2026, Cars Land and Villains Land over the back of Big Thunder. So now let's look at what was released last week and peel back all the details. So Cars Land, as we know it, will have two attractions. The first will be a smaller car ride, which is similar to the main attraction but angled more towards a younger audience. And then we have the main Cars ride, which is what we were shown details of last week at the Disney Parks 2025 live stream keynotes South by Southwest and Walt Disney Imagineering on YouTube. We call it Imagineering Let's Ride video. This attraction will be an off-road adventure that will offer riders a unique experience compared to, say, Test Track, which testing has begun, or the Tomorrowland Speedway at the Magic Kingdom, which both run on smooth, flat, road-like surfaces. The new Cars attraction, which is in development, is going to be more like an ATV off-road, all-terrain vehicle experience. The Walt Disney World team took a trip out to the Arizona desert to jump in a real off-road vehicle to see what it felt like driving over rocky rocky terrain. These are all the things Lightning McQueen and Mater haven't experienced before, like racing over rocky terrain, ascending to the mountain peaks, and dodging around geysers. How do you take these real world elements and put a car spin on it? As we've seen in the videos, Disney Imagineers have had a track built by an off-road motocross company, and they are working out the elements that the attraction will have, such as tight bends, dips, rocks, potholes, double downs, hills, geysers and splashdowns, all the type of elements you can find when off-roading. We also seen in the latest Disney Imagineering video a possible layout for the Cars ride, and it didn't seem to have such a crazy big climb or dip. For the best part of the layout, it seems that it's a gradual gradient to the highest point, then it works its way back down, which kind of contradicts the artwork that was released at D23. The main hurdles for this attraction seems to be the ride vehicle itself, and this is why testing of suspension and tyres and chassis are key. This ride vehicle will be under more stress than a standard car, as it will be running 7 days a week, 365 days a year on an off-road surface, where wear and tear seems to be the big worry. We was also shown a 3D printed model of a car on a track, which also adds more issues. As you can imagine, having a vehicle fixed to a floor via a track on a surface that is not flat. This potentially could add stress to connection points under the ride vehicle and its power supply, and any data lines that are running in the track. Not to mention the issues that you'll come across with a water splashdown that is in the artwork. I mean, all of these points have to be really strong but versatile. This is why I think some of the terrain elements could be created by the chassis that has the capability to be programmed with hydraulics as the vehicle moves around the layout, much like the Dino Ride at Animal Kingdom, soon to be Indiana Jones. This system combined with physical elements could make for an interesting attraction, while taking away some of the issues that we spoke about before. Less stress on the track and chassis, not to mention fatigue on the road surface and ride vehicle. The only issues I can foresee is the weight of the vehicle itself, hence why the layout model didn't have a steep gradient on the climb to the summit. And we can't forget that along this road trip you will race some of your favourite characters like Tow Mater and Lightning McQueen for a thrilling rally race across the landscape. So this is what we have at this time. But the last thing on this topic is a quote by Pixar Chief Creative Officer Pete Docter and Imagineer Michael Hunjan. Our primary goal is creating an emotional experience for our guests. For this car attraction, we need to invent a new type of ride vehicle. No one builds these in a factory because it has to do so much more than just carry you from one place to another. We have to create a car that conveys the feeling when you ride it. We're using a customized production vehicle. It has sensors all over it, and we're taking it for test drives on our dirt track to gather data on how the vehicle responds to different terrains. This is where we turn that feeling we want into real world engineering. Is this the data that will be programmed into the chassis? Who knows? So what do you think of Cars Land? Let us know in the comments down below. Now we're going to move on to the next attraction, which is Doors Coaster. We previously, back in August of last year, predicted that the new Monsters Inc. Doors Coaster coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World would feature the world's first ever vertical lift on an inverted coaster, and now Disney has confirmed it last week. But this inverted coaster is also going to have a very unique loading system, with the seats being able to rotate to face the waiting rider on the platform, making it easier to load the attraction. But we'll talk more about this later on in this video. And yes, this will also be the first ever suspended inverted roller coaster at any Disney park. Guests will board the ride vehicle before being hoisted into the air just like in the movie. Then once at the top of the lift, your seat will rotate forwards and zoom into the door's vault. It's going to be an experience that's as memorable and fun as the film. I can tell you that everyone at Pixar is excited about how this is coming together. It is really like a dream come true for us, Hunjun and Doctor told the crowd. From what we can see in the short video released from Disney, this coaster looks to run on 4 or more ride vehicles, each accommodating 10 riders according to the artwork and the ride model. Operational flow of the coaster involves a unique system where 4 platforms facilitate the loading process of several ride vehicles. Once the first 2 trains or ride vehicles on the first side of the platform are loaded, they will ascend vertically and set off into the door's vault. Once the first 2 trains are sat at the top of the lift, the first will be dispatched. Then a switch track will redirect for the second train's departure. All this will be happening while another 2 trains are loading and being hoisted on the opposite platform. The second keynote with this ride vehicle is the rotating seats. Do these seats rotate 360 degrees? And will this action be used elsewhere inside the attraction? As you make your way through the ride layout, directing the rider's viewpoint for the storytelling. Once inside the vault, there is a flat section of track. Could this be a pre-show and maybe the first main launch into the vault? I do feel that this area seems a bit strange, that it has a flat section without any elements, and it could be possible that the seats rotate again to show set pieces or screens, much like the Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue ride in Disneyland. We also expect a mixture of physical set pieces, animatronics and screens to be used throughout the attraction. After the first 2 trains clear the designated block section, the empty lift section will return to the lower loading platform, ready for the next lot of ride vehicles, making it a continuous flow of ride vehicles, and this could mean several ride vehicles within the vault at one time, all passing each other, giving that crazy vault feeling from the movie. And I just want to add this into the mix. Could the seats rotate at certain parts of the ride, facing you backwards or sideways, facing other ride vehicles as they pass you? It definitely adds more interest and fun to a standard inverted coaster. Now I imagine this ride system will have some similarities to the Fly Coaster at Phantasialand in Germany, just in a different vertical orientation. Now I bring this up as this is a Verkoma coaster, and we know Disney has a very good relationship with Verkoma. In fact, Disney and Verkoma have built several custom designed coasters, such as the 7 Dwarfs Mine Train over in the Magic Kingdom in 2014, Tron Light Cycle Run at MK in 2023, Expedition Everest over at Animal Kingdom in 2006, and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind in Epcot in 2022. That's just to name a few of the Orlando projects. So I do feel Verkoma is going to be the manufacturer of this new roller coaster. In fact, I'd be very surprised if it wasn't. I just feel Verkoma is a good fit for Disney, it's reliable, and they already have several variations of inverted coasters on their books. And if you go to the Verkoma website, you'll see they're working on a dark ride inverted roller coaster which will be launching soon. And going back to the scale model, the fact that the Doors coaster doesn't have any noticeable drops to create momentum, will this coaster have a form of propulsion like linear induction motors? In the released video last week, you can kind of make out launch fins on the track/hoist. I did think in the past it was going to be a powered coaster like a Mack mine train, but it is now pointing towards linear induction motors for the launch. This option would save space in the building as you wouldn't need a lift hill, similar to Tron Light Cycle Run. It also reduces the time of a ride vehicle having to travel to the top of a lift hill and the noise of a lift hill. It also gives you more space for the ride in the building and more space for the show scenes and track layout. So this is our thought process for both attractions, but one thing is, it's going to be fun to see how these attractions evolve over the next year, and we totally look forward to seeing the finished product. We all know the Imagineers do work magic, and we can't wait to see how the Cars ride will look and work, and how the inverted coaster will ride. Disney works pure magic, and only time will tell. And I just want to quote Walt Disney himself: "Progress is impossible without change." What are your thoughts and opinions about all this news that has been released over the past week? Comment down below, as we'd love to hear your thoughts. Please don't forget to smash subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell and share with your friends and family, as this really helps the channel grow. Want even more Orlando, Florida updates? Don't forget to check out our website that covers everything that's happening here in Orlando, Florida. Now get out there and go and make some memories. And don't forget about these two videos right here, and we hope to see you all on our next video.